Is South Loop the best loop? You be the judge. In this video, this is where to live in Chicago, South Loop. If it's the first time on the channel, welcome. I'm Anant Deoras, a local realtor, and through my Living in Chicago, Illinois YouTube page, I create content geared to folks relocating and moving within Chicago. You may see videos such as this video, a neighborhood series, cost of living in Chicago, and or transportation in Chicago, just to name a few. Subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button and that notification so you know the next video coming out. Hey, hold on a second. Before we continue on to find out what things to do in South Loop, Chicago, are you curious about the real estate market? On my webpage, Health of the Market, I discuss the local Chicago market in detail and how it impacts buyers and sellers. And while you're there on the page, it's actually delivered through Facebook Live, and you can watch the replays, 2 videos on that page, Health of the Market. Why don't you go ahead and sign up for the actual ultra local South Loop report, where you can see active, under contract, and sold properties. It's really easy to sign up. Any questions at all, feel free to call me. I have my contact information there. Hope you find that beneficial, and let's continue on to the rest of the video. Plenty of food and drink in wonderful South Loop. For one, you have Victory Tap for great Italian, and there's a bar there for drinking. Of course, not right now. We are going through COVID-19 during this time. This is in mid-July. And for the foreseeable future, there will be limited capacity in places that have food. If the places, just a kind of quick note, at this point, the places that are just bar onlys are not open, and hopefully that'll change in the near future. But for now, you have to be having a retail food license in order to be serving alcohol. For Middle Eastern, Kurah, K-U-R-A-H, great Middle Eastern fare there, little bar area there, good food. Pizza, if you like sweeter sauce, Aurelio's, and you know Chicagoans, they're very fiercely loyal to their pizzas, so there's both thin and thick crust options available right over on Michigan and Roosevelt. That is Aurelio's Pizza. And finally, Motor Row Brewing there's actually a brewery in the greater South Loop area. Go ahead and check that out. So this is just a couple of places to have food and Museum drink campus in South Loop. Dominates South Loop, and as far as what are great things to do in the neighborhood. A part of the museum campus, you have the Shed Aquarium, Adler Planetarium, just to name a few. And of course, I'd be remiss without mentioning just south of the museum campus, within the South Loop area, is where my beloved Chicago Bears, the Bears, play at Soldier Field. As far as what I mentioned earlier, I was talking about some neighborhood groups. There are 3 main neighborhood groups. If you want more information on what to do in South Loop, there are the Prairie District Neighborhood Alliance, Greater South Loop Association, and the South Loop Neighbors. Those are 3 groups. If you do a quick Google search, I'll have links in the description, not to worry, of all 3 groups that you should check out, along with a couple of those food and drink places that I mentioned will be in the description for you to check out. And while you're in Facebook, if you happen to be in Facebook, one of the best resources outside of those neighborhood associations are the Facebook community pages. And the dominant one in Facebook is Hello South Loop, which currently has 14,000 members. So what I recommend is, if South Loop is on the radar, if one of your neighborhoods, you've set up a search, hopefully on my website, and I'm helping you and assisting you in a purchase. You also want to kind of get a feel. What I recommend, if South Loop's on the radar, sign up, join the group. You don't have to live in that particular neighborhood, and that is the best way you can get your questions asked. You can ask, like, what are the best Italian, what's the best Indian, what's the best Thai, what to do. So you already have a wealth of knowledge before even moving to the wonderful neighborhood of South Loop. So is South Loop the best loop? Well, that's not for me to judge. This is Anant Deoras. I am a local realtor with eXp Realty. I hope through discussing just a couple of few things about South Loop, you can make that determination if it is indeed the best loop. Reach out to me if you got any questions at all. Text, email, phone calls. I love hearing from people. Regardless if you're buying or renting in Chicago, I am happy to help. Thank you. Before you go, got a couple videos for you to check out. You're going to need to know the cost of living when you move to the wonderful neighborhood of South Loop. So go ahead and check out my cost of living playlist. I've got a lot of items in there, utilities, nightlife, food, some great costs that you need to know. And listen, if you determine South Loop isn't the best loop, then go ahead and check out other neighborhoods where to live in Chicago in my neighborhood series, where to live in Chicago. Until next time, please stay safe.